Victoria Premier Daniel Andrews is threatening to extend the 5 kilometre rule beyond October 19 if people continue to misbehave. Police were forced to arrest a man in St Kilda and fine dozens of others after crowds blatantly ignored rules at beaches over the weekend.
Let's get today's take on this with Shelley Horton from 9 Honey and the journalist at the Saturday paper, Osman Faruqi. Oz, you are there. There were some shocking scenes at the weekend where people it was beautiful weather. They were almost out of lockdown, where they're just too excited. And is that an excuse to flout the rules and maybe extend the lockdown?
It is so frustrating to watch, DC. Like, it was gorgeous weather on the weekend, and a few of my mates and I, within 2 households, keeping to the rules, 5 people less, went to the park, had some beers, had some pizza, and then went home. And it is such gorgeous weather. I get why people want to hang out in groups. They want to go to the beach, but if we do that, it gives it might spread the virus, but it also gives the government and the police, the argument to extend this lockdown further. I just don't know why these people can't see that if you want to have fun like the rest of us, then just buckle down for a couple more weeks. We'll get through it. We'll be able to enjoy it legally and for a much longer time frame.
Yeah, well, that's it. It must be so disappointing for people like you who are doing the right thing. Shell, summer's just around the corner. It's been a really sunny, long weekend in Sydney, for example. It's not just a Melbourne problem, this, is it? Are you concerned that people in other parts of the country might be becoming too complacent?
Yeah, well, I think that's the thing, is we kind of now in New South Wales, now that we haven't had any active cases for 9 days, I'm not wearing my mask as much as I used to. I'm not washing my hands as much. So I think that I'm pulling myself up and going, hey, I want this to continue, so therefore I still need to do the right thing. And I think that's what everyone needs to remember. But boy, it is hard. Summer is here and everyone wants to be out there. So I think we need to think long term, not short term. It's a public holiday here in Sydney and I know everyone will be going to the beach. But I was actually impressed with the shots of Bondi Beach where people were actually keeping a towel distance apart. So if everyone can just remember and don't have too much booze, because when you have too much booze, then you forget the rules and you might start dancing and stuff like that.
We really need to look at Paris, which is going to lockdown again, London, all these places that are coming out of their summer, going into hard lockdowns again, and the danger of that. Let's go to America now. We've seen President Trump and his motorcade do this bizarre drive-by to his supporters gathered outside the hospital at Walter Reed, where he's been receiving treatment for the coronavirus. This display comes after Trump's doctors provide conflicting information constantly about his condition. No one knows how good or bad it is. Shelley, we've had doctors from Walter Reed just recently tweet that this is a dangerous thing to do. Yep. Everyone in these cars now needs to self-isolate for 14 days. That's an expert doctor at Walter Reed. Putin, Trump's hero, hasn't even left his home, or rarely has since March. What is going on? And when is the president going to wake up here and try and project a safe image for his country?
Look, I think this is peak Trump. This is exactly what I would actually expect him to do. He doesn't obey the laws. He doesn't obey the rules. He doesn't listen to doctors. So I think that this is kind of what I expected. And I think for me, the big difference is he doesn't really have supporters and voters. He has fans. And so by doing a drive-by that, he was like a rock star making his fans happy. I just worry about those poor Secret Service agents who had to be in the car with him. I mean, did they sign up for potentially losing their life just because of him wanting to wave at fans? Sure, they'd take a bullet for him, but do they need to take the virus for him?
So unnecessarily. Oz, that's what it felt like to me, like a ticker tape parade watching it early this morning. It's just so bizarre on so many levels. And then you see his supporters out there gathering with signs and cheering him on as he goes past, and none of them are wearing masks.
It's so weird. When I first saw the footage, I thought, oh, he's out of hospital. He must be on his way back home. But no, he's still in hospital. He just wanted to duck out for a drive to show off how healthy he apparently is. I mean, mate, the way to prove that is to stay in hospital, get better, and then just leave. What does this drive-by achieve? But then, as DC was saying, this bigger issue of just not knowing actually what's going on. It is so extraordinary that the doctors are kind of giving contradictory information. White House officials are leaking other information. Like, this is the president of the United States. It's really important, not just for voters and the country, but the whole world to know how crook he is or how healthy he is. It's kind of mind-blowing. It's so hard to get that detail.
And by the way, no update on Melania. How's she going? And everyone else who's been infected.
She's loving isolating, loving it.
I bet. Hey guys, stay with us when we come back this morning. The PM's first ladies, what Scomo is planning to name his new chooks.
And the working from home trend that could see you never needing to leave your bed. That's next.
We'll move over Scotty Cam. Scott Morrison has showed off his DIY skills assembling a chicken coop over the weekend. The Prime Minister revealed his wife and daughters decided to call the chook house Lodge Ladies and name some of the chicks after former PM's wives who have lived at the lodge.
I don't really want to say too much about that, so I'm going to go to Shelley and Oz on this. So, Shelley, you know what? I think I might go to you first. There will be a Lucy, a Therese, a Margie, a Jeanette, and a Hazel hen. Will Tim, Julia Gillard's partner, be the rooster and all that? And just your top thoughts, Shelley. What are your points on this?
I think it's important to have a top cock when you have someone in that.
Shelley.
No, look, I actually love this. I had chooks growing up, and I think it's a fantastic for the kids because you learn how to look after the chickens and feed them and water them and collect the eggs. But I like the fun hen names. Like I like Cluck Norris or Dora the Explorer or Princess Leia, stuff like that.
Right.
Oz, is there maybe a better way to honour, the first ladies of Australia and their enormous contributions to our country?
Great question. Like, look, good on him for building a chook pen and good on the kids for being up for it. But it was a bit weird to name them after, like, people who are alive and around and, real human beings. I know Lucy Turnbull, for example, Malcolm Turnbull's wife, she expressed some kind of bemusement at this on Twitter. She posted some, thinking face emoji. She didn't seem too impressed by it. It seems like a bit of a risky move. But, I'd be interesting to see, if those chicks, we don't know, are they going to be roosters? Are they going to be laying hens? It could create some problems if they end up with a lot more roosters than just one.
And is it a gas-powered pen or are there solar panels on the roof?
Yeah, that's it.
Great question.
Look, your quick thoughts?
I think it's pretty clear what my thought was. I think there are other ways to honour the First Ladies of Australia.
Yeah, it does. The naming seems odd.
Look,
like with everybody else, I think it's great. Chickens are great. They're good for the environment. It's good for recycling and all this
I'm
stuff.
not going to waste too much energy on it.
Hey, how about let's move on. Making news this morning. Is this the height of working from home laziness? Get me one of these. 6 of the best over-bed tables have been reviewed.
Great.
For those too lazy to leave the comfort of their pillow. Oz, I'm saying hello Christmas to this.
Sign me up. If anyone is watching this and they're thinking about what to get me for a gift, they know I'm still on lockdown, buy me these, buy me all of them. I don't care.
Yeah.
I need less reasons to leave my room. I feel like, working from home, it's great, except it's bad for your back. If that fixes it, fantastic. Please get me one of these.
Yeah.
Are you tempted, Shell?
No, I'm a bit of a nana. I think you need to leave your bedroom and actually work in an office within your house so that you don't
So old-fashioned.
blur that work-home thing. And also, I think it's bad for your back to be trying to work while you're lying down. However, I will support it if it is to hold snacks while watching movies.
Okay.
Yeah, like the ones you put over the bathtub
awesome.
with a glass of wine and some cheese. Yeah, now you're talking.
All right.
Perfect. Multi-use.
Yeah, she's already given it a new use. Absolutely.
There you
All right,
go.
Thank you guys so much for being here. Take care, Oz. Thanks, Shelley.
See you next week. Coming up on Today Extra, meet the man who